Evanston, Illinois, north of Chicago, was one of the most segregated cities in America. When Black Americans escaped slavery in the South, discrimination and oppression followed them here. Black residents were only allowed to buy property in this one small area of the city, and that only ended around 50 years ago. The area was deprived of investment, parks, playgrounds, grocery stores. Even today, it has no public school, and children are bussed around the city. This was widespread in America, but Evanston is the first city to offer financial compensation, known as reparations, pursued by Robin Rose Simmons.
It's not going to put a dent in the damages that have been done to Black Evanston residents, but we understand that steps are necessary. It'll certainly take lifetimes, it'll take generations. It took us 402 years to get to this place in history, to get to this place of our racial divide, based on egregious crimes against the humanity of Black people.
Sarah is one of those residents eligible for an initial $25,000 of reparations.
People didn't even see Blacks as, the same. So now that there's a recognition that harm was done and that Evanston is the first place in the United States to say, hey, we're taking some ownership of this, I think it's a great, I like being part of this history.
You only need to travel one block outside of this neighborhood to see how far Black residents have been left behind. And the wealth gap is growing. Even now, the vast majority of mortgages in Evanston are going to white people. The reparations are well intended, but the money has to be spent on housing, and it has to be spent here in Evanston. And the reality is, many Black residents simply can't afford to buy here anymore. Jennifer is one of those people.
It's not just a money thing, because it's not. I shouldn't have to worry just because of the color of my skin, whether I'm going to be treated fairly.
Well, I think it's a little bit
For some, local policies simply help far too few people and give the federal government an out in offering adequate compensation to the descendants of slavery.
We know America can do it on the federal level. We just saw about $10 trillion be printed for COVID relief. It didn't affect any budgets. There's no inflation. They just printed the money. So we want to see that on a federal level for every American descendant of slavery, not just those in one particular municipality.
The compensation may be imperfect and long overdue, but it started a national conversation about how to repair racism.
Every great journey starts with the first step. I think people should embrace it. Yes, there's going to be flaws like anything else, but if we never get started, then what?
A small step, but it's in the right direction. Sally Lockwood, Sky News, Evanston, Illinois.